SophiaVerse is an advanced AI project closely linked to the humanoid robot Sophia, created by Hanson Robotics. It envisions a future where AI collaborates with humans rather than replacing them. To explore this vision further, we have Barrett Cook, who will provide an in-depth look at SophiaVerse, its mission, and its impact on the future of AI and human collaboration.
Web3 backed video game. Now, there's a lot of very serious uses for all of this technology that we have in the whole singularity net ecoverse. Why a video game? Well, a video game can act in two very useful ways to the whole singularity net ecosystem. The first is that because this game is Web3 based, it allows people who are outside of our Web3 infrastructure and our Web3 community, which is the vast majority of people in the world, to be able to access and dip their toes into the Web3 world that we live in, because they live in Web2, or as they say, the radio world. So we give them the opportunity to access little bits and pieces of the Web3 and get some familiarity with how to set up a wallet and how to access some of these different assets and tokenizations and things like that. So we think of it as an avenue for recruitment of the majority of the world to bring them into the future, which is Web3. But on top of that, we also have the fun and engaging aspect of a game environment that is a hook to bring those people in. Because the majority of people, as interesting as all of this is and amazing as all of it is, a lot of people are not as interested in it. They just want something fun. They want something simple. And we offer that as in SophiaVerse as a game environment that is engaging and allows them to interact with many of these different ecosystem AI-powered systems in a playful sandbox fun environment. So we set up this environment and this game as a way for us to be able to take these AI programs and these AI algorithms and put them into gamified environments for people to play with, and for us to be able to test and train and see how these AI systems interact with all of these players, with all of these people, with all of these social interactions. And that helps us to figure out, okay, what works, what doesn't, what is the most engaging for the individual people who are playing these games. And we do that in a couple of different ways. The first is, of course, social interaction. So one of the primary components of SophiaVerse is our ability to talk directly to the characters. And you might think, okay, well, I could talk directly to ChatGPT. What's so special about that? We're building in-house LLM and graph representation type LLM structures that allow us to constrain these LLM interactions, these chat interactions, to a script that is part of a game world. Because I don't know if you've ever taken the time to try a role play with ChatGPT, but it works well for the first few interactions, and then you might be off battling, say, a goblin in a cave, and suddenly it has a machine gun for some reason. And so these hallucinations that these LLMs of all sorts are coming up with is because they're kind of going off the rails. They're going off their own script that they're just kind of writing on the fly. And in a game world, that's not so useful. Because in a game world, we're trying to tell a story. We're trying to provide a narrative, an engaging story for our players to be able to interact with and play. And if our AI is coming up with random things that are throwing off our story, well, they won't get very far. And we can't get very far in progressing the story in the way that we want to. And so we're building these technologies to allow us to constrain these LLMs so that they can improvise and you can freely talk to them but they will also try and keep on script and try and guide you. So if you go up to Soph and you say, "Hi, how are you? What do you think the price of tea is?" And she'll say, "I don't know. I don't even know what that means. But it is nice to meet you. And look at this cool environment that we're in. We're in this lab. Let's see what that's all about." And it will try and guide our players to interact back on track along a narrative. And that allows us to continuously have a good game experience for our players without the LLMs hallucinating and going off the rails. Then, on top of that, we are also incorporating the experiential learning systems that we are developing, which is Iris is one of the ones that I'm developing, and all the other experiential learning systems, because these are very, very new and very revolutionary technologies. And we have so much that we need to explore and test and see what they can do and see what they can't do. And so we need a good platform to be able to do that. And the best platform to do that is virtual environments. So we're going to be making virtual simulations to test these systems out in. Why not wrap that up into a game world that everybody in the world could join up and play and interact with these systems, so we could crowdsource this testing across the entire normal game world while also bringing them in to our Web3 world. And that is the idea behind SophiaVerse, and we are very excited about it, and we are looking forward to showing off a lot of the work that we've been doing here very soon.